There's something about walking into a room and feeling like you can breathe easier, like the space around you is lighter, clearer, more peaceful. But if you're like a lot of us who've lived 6 decades or more, you might also know the other side of that feeling. Opening a closet and being met with stacks of old papers, boxes of forgotten keepsakes, or clothes you haven't worn in years. It's overwhelming. And if you've ever tried to declutter, you've probably run into a few hard truths along the way. Things no one really warns you about. That's what we're going to talk about today. The real challenges of decluttering when you're 60 or older. Not the sugar-coated advice you've heard before, but the honest, sometimes tough realities that come with letting go of a lifetime of belongings. Because here's the thing, decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's about making life easier, safer, and more enjoyable as we move into this next chapter. So let's start with the first hard truth, one that might hit close to home. We've spent decades collecting, saving, and holding on to things. Dishes from our wedding, our children's artwork, books we swear we'll read again someday. And it's not just stuff, it's memories, it's comfort, it's proof of a life well lived. But here's the reality. We can't keep it all. And more importantly, we don't need to. Now, I'm not saying you should toss everything that matters to you, but ask yourself, is this item serving me now, or is it just taking up space? That sweater you haven't worn since the 90s, the stacks of magazines you'll never reread. They might feel important, but if they're not adding value to your life today, they're just adding weight. And the truth is, the memories aren't in the things, they're in you. This one stings a little, doesn't it? We hold on to heirlooms, china sets, or old furniture thinking, someday the kids will want this. But the hard truth is, they probably won't. Tastes change, homes are smaller, and younger generations just don't value the same things we did. I remember a friend telling me how she saved her mother's antique dining set for years, only to hear her daughter say, "Mom, I live in an apartment. I don't have room for a 12-person table." It wasn't about love, it was about practicality. And that's okay. So what can you do? Ask them. Really ask. If they don't want it, don't take it personally. Free yourself from the guilt of holding on to things just because you think you should. Now let's talk about something even tougher, the emotional side of letting go. This isn't just about stuff. It's about identity. That box of old report cards? It's proof you were once a bright-eyed student. Those unused tools in the garage? They remind you of projects you loved. Letting go can feel like saying goodbye to the person you used to be. But here's what I've learned. Holding on to everything doesn't keep the past alive. It just makes the present harder. You don't need every memento to remember who you were or who you are. Maybe you keep one box of the most meaningful items and let the rest go. Because the best way to honor your past? Make room for your now. And with that, we've covered 3 of the 5 hard truths. But there's more to talk about, like the physical challenges of decluttering as we age, and why someday is the most dangerous word when it comes to getting organized. So let's keep going. There's a moment in decluttering when it stops being about the stuff and starts being about us. Our habits, our limitations, even our stubbornness. And that's when things get really interesting. Because the next 2 truths, they're about the real obstacles standing between us and a lighter, simpler home. The ones we don't always like to admit. Your body isn't 40 anymore, and that changes everything. Remember the days when you could haul boxes to the attic without a second thought? Or spend a whole weekend reorganizing the garage without your knees protesting? Yeah, those days are probably gone. And here's the hard truth. Decluttering after 60 isn't just a mental challenge, it's a physical one. Bending, lifting, sorting for hours, it's exhausting. And worse, it can be dangerous. A fall, a strained back, or even just pushing yourself too hard can turn a simple cleanup into a health setback. So what's the solution? Work smarter, not harder. Break tasks into tiny steps. 10 minutes a day is better than one marathon session that leaves you aching. Use tools, grabbers, rolling carts, a sturdy step stool, to save your body. And most importantly, ask for help. Maybe it's a family member, a hired organizer, or even a neighbor's teenager willing to lift heavy bins. There's no trophy for doing it all alone, just a home that's easier and safer to live in. Waiting for someday is the biggest mistake you can make. We've all said it, I'll deal with this later. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Later rarely comes, and the longer we wait, the harder it gets, both physically and emotionally. Think about it. Every year, the piles grow a little taller. The memories attached to them dig a little deeper. And the idea of tackling it all becomes more overwhelming. But here's what I've learned from folks who've been through it. The best time to start decluttering was 20 years ago. The second best time? Today. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Because someday often turns into never. Or worse, into a crisis. A health scare, a sudden move. And then, instead of making thoughtful choices, you're forced to rush. And that's when the real regret sets in. Not for what you let go, but for the time you wasted holding on. Now, I know this all might sound a little heavy, but here's the good news. Every single item you let go of is one less thing weighing you down. Every cleared shelf is space for something better. Peace, ease, maybe even a new hobby. And that's what we'll dig into next. How to turn these hard truths into real lasting freedom. You know, there's something powerful about looking at a drawer you finally cleared out. Really seeing the empty space where clutter used to be. It's not just about the physical room you've created, it's about the lightness you feel, like you've set down a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. And that brings us to the last and maybe most liberating truth about decluttering. We've talked about letting go of the past, about accepting that our kids might not want our treasures, about the physical realities of aging. But here's the heart of it all. Your home should work for you, not against you. Every item you keep should earn its place. By being useful, by bringing joy, or by making your daily life easier. Ask yourself, does this thing save me time or stress? Like a well-organized medicine cabinet, does it spark real happiness? That one painting you love, not the dozen faded prints stuffed in a closet, is it worth the energy it takes to maintain? That bulky bread maker you feel guilty for never using? Let it go. This isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with what matters. And sometimes, the things that matter most aren't things at all. It's the ability to move through your home without tripping. It's the relief of finding what you need in seconds. It's the quiet pride of knowing you've created a space that truly fits this chapter of your life. A gentle final truth. Decluttering is a gift, not just to yourself, but to those you love. Here's something we don't say often enough. Clearing the clutter isn't selfish. It's one of the most generous things you can do for your family. Because someday, whether it's in a year or in 20, someone will have to sort through your home. And the best legacy you can leave them isn't more stuff to manage. It's the gift of a clear, peaceful space filled with only the things that truly tell your story. So start where you are. One drawer, one shelf, one "why did I keep this?" at a time. And when it feels hard, because some days it will, remember this. Every item you let go of is a step toward a home that feels as vibrant and unburdened as you deserve. Decluttering isn't about loss. It's about making room for comfort, for ease, and for the people and experiences that matter most now. So take a deep breath, pick one small corner to start, and know that every bit of progress counts. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. What's the hardest thing for you to let go of? Or what's one area of your home you're determined to tackle? Share your stories in the comments below. If this resonated with you, give the video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more honest conversations about thriving in these golden years. Here's to lighter spaces, lighter hearts, and a home that feels exactly right for the life you're living today. Thanks for watching. Now go enjoy that newfound breathing room.